Hey guys, how you doing? Jonathan here in Costa Rica. I want to talk to you today a little bit about communication. Specifically, we're going to talk about Google Voice. Google Voice is a service that we've been using for about 10 years, and it's the service that we use to kind of piece everything together when it comes to voice communications, phone calls, and having a phone number. I was on Facebook the other day, and I was participating in some comments on a question that a friend of mine had asked about how do you stay in contact, how do you keep a number, what do you guys do? He's looking for suggestions. And I'd say that probably if what you want to have is just a cell phone service that's based in the States, and that is an option, probably T-Mobile is your best bet. From what I've been able to see, T-Mobile has a great international roaming service. So around $40 a month, you have your account, and then what it's going to be doing is it's going to give you service wherever you're at. I had a friend that was here for 9 months in Costa Rica living, and used the whole time. Worked great for him. But for us, for example, we didn't want to retain that number. We have service here in Costa Rica, and then what happens is we need to go back to the States and find a SIM card. Which, if you this is my side rant, if you have traveled much, you know that anywhere in the world except for the States, you get off the plane, you get off the bus, wherever it is you got to the country, you find a guy in the corner, you buy a SIM card, you're up and running. Unfortunately, in the States, isn't that easy. So there are some options out there, and that would be another video. But however it is that you get service, whether you get an AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever, and you're up and running for a week that you're in the States, for a month you're in the States, a year, whatever it is, and depending on how long you're going to be there, it's going to differ on what you do. But in our case, what we did about 10 years ago, we started with Google Voice. Google Voice used to be called Grand Central, and then Google bought them and made it one of their, I would say, constellation of services that they have right now. And so it's a free service, which, hey, is great. Anytime you're in the nonprofit sector, you're looking for good deals. Google Voice has no cost, and it's available to anybody that has a Google account. So if you have a Gmail account, or in our case, our domain is managed by Google, you have access to the service. You go to Google, say Google Voice. I'll put a link in the bottom about how to get to set it up. But you're going to set it up. It's going to give you choices on your area code. Ours is 417, and a few choices on what number you want to use. You choose your number, and you're up and running. The way it works is you have a U.S. number that you forward it to. So I've got my number. Somebody calls it, and what it's going to do is it's going to ring a number in the States. Now, when I'm out of the States, it doesn't do that. I disconnect that. I disable it through the interface online. What it does do is I use it in 3 different ways. One is web-based. Web-based, I can go to Google Voice, to the website. I can see phone calls that I've got, a record of it. If they left a voicemail, I'm going to be able to click on that and listen to it. And I'm going to have a transcript so I can see what somebody said. I can also, if I put in the plug-in, I can, using the microphone and the speakers or the headphone on the computer, I can actually call through the web or through the website. So that's one option. The main option I use is actually their built-in integration to Hangouts. They have and I will warn you that Google Voice has an app, but it's no good. So it's really only good for listening, for listening to voicemails and sending text. But the best integration you're going to find is just get Hangouts, which is like iMessenger or iMessages, Messenger, WhatsApp. It's Google's version of that, and you're going to get the app, and then you're going to go into it. And I'm looking at it right now. I've got a bunch of random numbers here, numbers that I've called out. And so from Hangouts, once you connect it in the settings to your Google Voice account by signing into the same account, what you're going to get is the ability to both receive and make phone calls. So actually right now there it was dialing out a number. I'm going to stop that. I accidentally hit that. But I can receive a call. Somebody calls me. I click on it. I can have the conversation with them. I can make an outbound call. They are free in the States. Now, I will tell you, when you make that phone call, you cannot just put, say if you're calling an area code in Springfield, 417, you can't just start for that 417. You can't even just do 1417. You have to dial it in international format, meaning you need to hold that 0 down for a second, get that plus, and then do 1417, and then your whatever number you're calling, and then you're going to dial it. And it's going to be free. Now, if I X out of here, you're going to see at the top right corner there, it says $9.97. I have credit on there. Through my Google Wallet, I've put money on this. And the reason for that is because they have great international rates. I can call Costa Rica for about 6 cents a minute. So when I'm out of the country, I can call back in, and that works awesome. Another thing that it does that's great is it does text messages. And the cool thing about that is that so you're going to be able to send text messages as as if it was your phone number, and you're also going to be able to receive those messages. I don't know about you, but I get about one a day that I got to sign into an account. It's been a while. They're like, hey, we got to verify you. Okay, sure. Send me the text message. It's going to come into Hangouts. I'm going to see the code. I'm going to type it into the computer. I'm going to be back on the account. So that's like a must. You got to have a U.S. based number. Not all accounts, but it's good to have it. And I don't know how many dozens of websites have my phone number, and from time to time, whether it's the credit card or the bank or whatever, they got to verify you. They're going to send it, and it's going to receive. One of the cool things about that too is that it's not only on my phone; it's on my wife's phone. So my wife is getting the phone calls too. She can make phone calls. She can address text messages, and so we both have access to that information. So you got the web-based option for seeing voicemails, text messaging, and even making phone calls if you turn on the microphone, all that, which actually works when I'm calling donors. I use it because I've got all my information there, and it's really handy for me to just hit dial, call, and so it works great. Got it here. It's always with me. Whether I'm in Costa Rica in the States, I'm not missing phone calls. And then the piece that brings it all together for me is this box. It's made by a company called Obihai. They're not I'm not getting anything for saying this, but this is a great product, so I'll mention it, and I'll put a link at the bottom to the Amazon, and it's not an affiliate. So OBI is a kind of a smaller startup. They've been around for a while. This unit here, I'm going to double check. It's the i200. It runs about $50 on Amazon. OBI, and what it has, it's just a simple. If you've got Vonage, if you've got another service like that, you know exactly what this is. It's got your power, it's got your Ethernet port where you're going to connect it to the internet, and it's got your phone jack to connect it to your phone service or to your phone. It's also got a USB, and you can buy an additional dongle that you plug into it, and that will make it wireless. I don't do that. I just have it connected to an Ethernet right to my router, and so it works great. In our house, we have this connected to one of those phones that has multiple handsets around the house, and so it rings all over the house. So what happens is, and I mean you can see right there, Google Voice, it stickers right on it. You're going to sign into this device. You're going to link it to your Google Voice account, and now you can get phone calls and deal with stuff on the web. You can get phone calls, make phone calls, and do text messaging on your phone. Or you can get it at home. And the awesome thing is not just at home. You could have two of these. You could have one in the office. You could have one in your home. You can travel with this thing. So for me, it's kind of a really integrated and it kind of encompasses all our needs. I've got a constant phone number that's on all my printed web material. Anything I put out, it's got that phone number. If I miss a phone call, sometimes data's not great. I'm still going to have that voicemail. I'm going to see it. I'm going to be able to actually glimpse at it real quick because it's got that text. I can see the notification come in, and I can kind of see who's calling. And so that's great. My wife has it too. Sometimes she'll be like, hey, Jonathan, did you see that you got that call? Oh, no, I didn't see it. Okay, great. Or I already responded to it. Awesome. And then kind of to put it together, this OBI service, and there might be some other companies out there, but this is the only one that I'm aware of. About $50, great investment. After that, it's not a monthly service. I don't pay for a monthly service. It's free. So I'm using this to call my family, call my friends, call donors, make any kind of business-related calls to the U.S. for free, no monthly costs, and they can call me too. And so for me, Google Voice has worked great. I'd love to hear what you guys use. What is it that works for you? What is it that is there a service that you feel like does a better job than Google Voice? Maybe you're running some problems with Google Voice. And I will say Google Voice is not perfect because, especially when you're traveling, it's dependent on your data, okay? So you're not making phone calls on your phone using it's not a phone call. You're using it through the app. So, you got to realize that's kind of, and if you make a phone call with your chip, it's going to have your new number, and this will happen. I'll call somebody and they'll be like, oh, who is this? Oh, Jonathan, let me write this number down. I'm like, no, don't write the number down. I'm not going to have this SIM card next time in the States. Just keep my regular number. Okay. So, but the way to avoid that is just go into Hangouts when you're going to make a phone call, when you're on the road, when you're traveling, and just make the call through there. It's not going to cost you anything. It's just going to use your data. If you're on the road, data. If you're at the hotel, if you're at a friend's house, if you're at Starbucks, whatever, it's going to use the Wi-Fi. So anyway, love to hear what you guys think. I'm going to leave a link at the bottom about Obihai. And if you guys have any questions, shoot me your questions, your comments. Talk to you later. Bye.